settings because you know I might not get as many minutes as I thought I would or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can go harder when you're not playing in games, kind of treat it, almost like off season in terms of individual workouts. I had a great trainer kind of outside of the organization that I was able to work with. At nighttime, focus on, expanding my game, which you might not have been able to do if you were playing regularly in the rotation. So it was good for me in that aspect to keep working on my individual game so I can be ready in the future.
No, Christine and Scott.
Grace, obviously from the Big Ten, there's a lot of other Big Ten players that are out there. One of them, of course, is Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
Could you describe just your rivalry? Obviously, you've played a lot of games against Iowa, big games, right, with IU, and then having her as a teammate. And any thoughts or any specifics even on was that fun? How fun was it? Watching her success, just anything along those lines. Thanks.
Yeah, it was really fun, I think, especially for someone like me who got to see her since she was a freshman at Iowa. And immediately you could tell how talented she was. I kind of had too close of a front row seat for that at Indiana. She got the best of me and us quite a bit, but I knew how talented she was. I knew she was a once-in-a-lifetime player, so for me, already being in the league and then welcoming her in, there was no question for me that she would translate pretty much immediately. I mean, she's one of a kind. She's a once-in-a-lifetime player. And just, hard worker, super talented. So it's definitely been more fun to be her teammate than to play against her. I can tell you that. She's not very fun to play against. But just to get to know her kind of off the court, how good of a person she is, how lighthearted she is, which she's, super competitive on the floor. And that light switches, as soon as she gets off, she's funny. The jokester in the locker room. So it's been fun to get to know her on a different level.
We'll go Scott, and then we'll go on Zoom to Howard.
A quick follow-up on that one. Have you met anybody more competitive than Caitlin?
I've met some competitive people, but she's definitely right up there in everything that we do.
Right.
Yeah.
And then in terms of just trying to stay ready and contribute, did you try to find other ways, or how do you find other ways to help the team when the minutes may not be there? And then how much are you just looking for to showcase that work that you said you put in the Winter League?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it's easy to stay ready when you have teammates that come in every day. They're working hard themselves, and that's just kind of was the culture around here. People getting up extra shots, people staying after practice. So it's easy to stay motivated in those situations. I think focusing on practice, doing what I can there to try to make my teammates better was something that I kind of locked in on, and then during the games, just being supportive for them as much as I could. And I'm excited. I put in a lot of individual work this summer. I'm going to Turkey on Tuesday, so getting to play with professionals from across the world, getting to showcase, and then just get better, compete with the best. I'm excited.
All right, I'm gonna try it one last time on Zoom. Howard, you wanna go ahead?
Hi, can you guys
Oh
hear me
my
okay?
God, we get it. Howard, go ahead.
Hi, Grace, I'm good to see you always. Question for you, just as somebody who has done as much as anyone to try and build the women's game in the home state of Indiana, I just wonder if there's a moment or moments that kind of jumped out at you, particularly about the way this season has resonated in the state and just how meaningful it is to see what the Indiana Fever have become, even beyond what you grew up seeing them be.
Yeah, I hope it becomes the norm. It should be. I think with more eyes on the WNBA, people started to fall in love with it. Not only in the state of Indiana, but we were selling out arenas all across the country, which definitely was not the case in my first year. So I think just getting more eyes on the game has been super special, and people are realizing how great of a product it is, how it's just as exciting as the men's game, how it's just as exciting as the college game, and how talented of people we have in this league. So I think it's been really exciting to be a part of and see, and I just hope that it becomes the norm moving forward.